M. Tim. Tim was not. You don't know how to read? Oh. You could at least tell me when they're there. Hi, boys and girls. This is Uncle Bryan's Stories Worth Repeating, and I'm here with Otong Finnegan, and we're trying to read, but it's not going very well. But today, I've got a story for you coming from Uncle Arthur's Bedtime Stories. This one I think you're going to enjoy, and it fits us really well when you think about how you're having to be in the house a lot right now. Okay? My cameraman's making faces. Do you need something? Okay, cool. Well, Otong and I have a story for you today. Okay? It's called Slippers. So I'm going to put you right over here, and you're going to help me out here. Thank you. So this is the story of two boys, two brothers. Have you got a brother or a sister? And maybe right now during this time of the virus and being quarantined in your house, maybe you're starting to have some problems, like getting grumpy with each other. Well, that's what happened to Tim and Tom. Now, parents that named their two boys Tim and Tom, you can just imagine that, okay? So they were close in age, Tim and Tom. They'd go do all sorts of things together. And you know how birthdays go. You've got to make sure if you give one gift to one boy, it has to be pretty similar to another boy. And so Tim and Tom both had received, on a birthday or a holiday, they had received a painting set each. You know those cute little painting sets with the little, you open up the plastic part and then you can get your little painting brush and you can color by numbers, or you can make big signs, or you can make the world like that. Maybe you don't play, maybe not. But, you know, and they do all the different pictures. And so Tim and Tom, they would be there and they'd be at the dinner table possibly, or a little cardboard table, or sometimes they'd be down on the ground and they'd be painting and they'd take their color and they'd make the different things. And Tim liked to use a lot of paint. And so he'd just pour it in there and big old things like this. And Tom would say, "You shouldn't use that much paint." Tim says, "Leave me alone, it's my paint." And he'd just keep on painting and painting. And then finally it came, you can imagine, it came when Tim's paints ran out. And he said, "Let me have some of yours, Tom." And Tom says, "No, get away from mine. You used all yours." "Oh, just let me have a little bit, Tom." "No, I said leave me alone." And what do you think happened, boys and girls? They started to push and shove, and one of them took their little paintbrush and smacked the other one in the head and said, "Leave me alone and get away." And Mother heard the sound that it went from happy little boys painting to "Get off me! Leave me alone! Get away from my paints!" And she came into the room and she realized that they needed to do something different. So she said, "Tim and Tom, please put your paints away. Please go outside." And they said, "Yes, Mother." And they got up to leave, and they're still grumbling. Now, they didn't punch. Maybe they did. I don't know about the book. Maybe the book changed the story a little bit. But as they're going out, they're grumbling and fussing. And Tom says, "I'm never going to let you use my paints. You can't have them. Just leave them alone. You use all yours up. That's your problem. Get away. You're not going to be able to do it." And Tim's like, "Well, just you could have shared." And they go outside and they play in the garden. Well, they're playing for a while, but they're still not so happy. And eventually Mom says, "Okay, time to come in for dinner." And so Tim and Tom come running in the house, and they go and they enter the door and they put on their slippers, and Tom puts on his nice new slippers that keep his feet warm, and he's getting ready to go, and all of a sudden he looks. Oh, I guess you can't see my slippers. So his nice slippers on his feet, and Tim can't find his slippers. And he's looking around. He says, "Where's my slippers? I don't have any slippers. Where'd they go?" And Mother wasn't quite sure, because I guess they were lost or something other. She didn't know what to do. And she was about ready to help when something beautiful happened, Otong. You won't believe this. even though they've been fighting, something happened in little Tom's heart. And he did something really neat. Instead of yelling and fussing and trying to get back at Tim for taking his paints, his heart softened towards his brother, and he took off one of his slippers and gave it to Tim. Isn't that nice? And so you know what happened? So Tim went walking with one slipper and one barefoot, and Tom went walking with one slipper and one barefoot. And so they had all these strange sounds, pitter-patter, pitter-patter, as they walked around the rest of the evening for a little bit. And then they went upstairs, and all of a sudden, they said, "Yay! We found it!" And they'd found Tim's missing slippers. They were under the bed where they should have been put away. But on that day, they learned a special lesson, that it's not worth being all grumpy and fussy. It's much better to share and to have a happy family. Don't you think so, Otong? So boys and girls, sorry, I won't point a shoe at you. That's really impolite in many cultures. How's that? Okay. You don't need sandals. Boys and girls, I know that you might be getting your nerves a little bit on edge right now. Your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad or your dog or your cat, or just the fact that you have to do homeschooling or online or whatever and you can't get out as much. But try to be patient and try to have a soft heart and try to work together, and it'll go much, much better. So thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this story was a good encouragement to you. And until next time, Mr. Otong Finnegan and myself, we say bye-bye.